think we're past the ad roll yet? Well, we're just going to assume that got us past the ad roll. Drum away, cans on, making me feel all radio personality like. How's my sound tonight, folks? Are we 5x5 or are we kind of stanking? So let's just see who's with us. I was trying to tap out some hellos before coming on, and I realized I was about to get to be late for my own live stream. Wouldn't be the first time I've been late for my own live stream, let me tell you. Tenenbaum was in first with the Marcus is here. I kind of feel like I haven't seen you in a long time, Marcus, so it's nice to see your name popping up in my side chat. Let's just check. How's my sound? Well, nobody's saying, oh, okay, so Honeybee says my sound is fine. Good. Honeybee says hi, by the way. Grace is in the house. Nice to see you. Rob on the internet, who is a channel member. And so that is, say it with me, everyone, Jesse's personal hero. Darth Vader, what a night. What a night indeed, Darth. It's funny, I didn't think I was going to get to be here with you guys on this night of nights. I was throwing something beyond my control, scheduling wise, but it didn't happen. So here I am. I call that a win. Did I say hi to Grace? Yes, I did. There's me saying hi to everyone. Lipstick Lodge, how's it going? Linda, nice to see you. I saw you over at Canoe Hound's show just before mine. I'm sorry to be missing part of that, but I do have something that happens from 9 to 11. Just seeing Sharon Q in the house. Nice to see you. Also a channel member, so personal hero. Darth Vader upgraded his MacBook Pro to 16 gigs of RAM. When in doubt, upgrade the MacBook. Am I right? I would like to get a new one of those. Having a little tea. Ron and Kelly are saying hi. Nice to see you guys again. Welcome to the stream. I hope to heck you like what happens here on this stream tonight. Darth pays the $12 a month for YouTube Premium. I think Russell has YouTube Premium as well, doesn't he, Darth? So I probably just bored you to tears with my ad roll drumming. Sorry about that. Hike with Mike in the house. Nice to see you. Excuse me. I tell you what. I have a Ursha dans gorge. What's a Ursha dans gorge in English? A frog in my throat? I have the ahems. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Destiny. Hi. She's saying hi to everyone. Everyone all in one shot. Like to see. Hey, there's Canadian. How's it going, Jerry? Gary. Oh, no. Now I'm not sure if it's a Jerry or a Gary. I think it's Jerry. See, that's the thing. You go at someone often enough, and you kind of forget which is the proper way to go. Lipstick Lodge says we would have missed you tonight. Glad you could make it. I am also glad. I really do depend on these little Tuesday night romps, verbal romps. There's Foxit. How's it going, Cliff? Yes, it did sort of work out ish. Whatevs. We're just going to keep on going. Canadian says tomato, which is good because I say tomato and you say tomato. Man on the street, how's it going? Out. Not having a live stream, going to have one. Yeah, I know. Yeah, as I was saying, life was playing with me right up to the last minute. If you're here, does that mean we should have a dram of the blue together? Let me know in the side chat. Bettina, holy crap, what are you doing here so early? It's because I wasn't going to be on, right? You're just playing with my heart, showing up so early. Nice to see you. Okay, I've caught up with the chat. Destiny knows where it's at. What the heck? Bettina's here. Hello. So I said my first, hellos. So I'm just going to do the usual housekeeping, and then we will get on with what we were talking about. So if in fact you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, thank you for your eyes. I do love knowing that you're watching even after the fact, and I do love getting comments down in the doobly-doo below. If at any point tonight you really like what's going on, I invite you to hit the thumbs up. If at any point tonight you kind of hate what's going on, that's all right. The frowny thumb works as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in supporting the channel, as several people already have, and you'd like to have that fun little icon next to your name, I invite you to check out the, I got the right corner. Check out the join button down below. There are 2 levels. Click on the button and you will see what the goods are on each of those levels. If you decide not to do that, that's okay. Hanging out, hitting the thumbs up, chit-chatting on the side, that's good too. Just want to Canadian is still adjusting to the 6-hour difference in time. Oh yeah. Oh man, you're on your trip right now, right? What country are you in right now, Jerry? Yes, Destiny, I am taking via rail. Oh, and I have to check what the baggage sizes are, since there's no checked baggage on this corridor. Thank you for reminding me, Destiny. Oh, you're already back. Okay, you were gone for 14 days. All right. Oh man, I want to hear about your trip. Please tell me you brought back a bottle of scotch. You got to bring back a bottle of scotch from a trip like that. Every time you have a little nip, you'll think about the trip. Cliff says, sadly for me, at the end of the month, I will have to unfortunately cancel all of my current YouTube subscriptions so I can save money for my truck payments. Oh yeah, new truck, eh? I do need to get a vehicle at some point, but I fear the payments. And also, everything that I'm interested in buying is like, there's a year waiting list. There's a 2-year waiting list. Give us $1,000 and you'll be on the waiting list. I'm like, okay, good to know. Canadian was in England, Ireland, Scotland, and the Netherlands. Oh, you couldn't do Belgium. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Oh, you brought back something from the Orkneys. What is it? Oh, Highland Park. Okay. Yeah, they are definitely the most northern. Got a blade. Got a beer. Got some bushcrafty stuff to talk about. I don't have a very formal agenda for tonight's meeting. Just a couple of things have been going through my mind. And if all is as all usually is, I'll get maybe a quarter of the way through the live stream and someone will pull me right off topic. Hey Al, do you know if Russell's around tonight? Can someone ping him and see if he's around? I just want to make sure he's okay. He might not be up for coming and hanging with us or anything. I just want to make sure he's okay. I gotta mute for a second. So yeah, this was a COVID house again in recent weeks. That was great. That was amazing. Getting so tired of this COVID. But hey, whatevs. That's the way of it. I'm pretty sure people were tired of the Black Death 100 years before it stopped swinging through Europe. So, all right. Doing a little pour because Serge is not here. I will most likely pour it well. If I see his name pop up, I will probably destroy the pour. Oh, no. Looking good. Looky that. So what is it? Actually, what is this? Just grabbed a whatever can I didn't recognize. La Friolante. Bière forte, miel et épices. Strong beer brewed with honey and spices. Keep it close to my face so that it will be in focus. So this is by Le Bilboquet. That's a microbrewery in Saint-Hyacinthe. in St. Hyacinth. Copper red beer with softness and roundness. In mouth, the taste of caramel malt mixes with the perfume of coriander. Its nose will bring you back to fall with its aromas of spices. It leaves in mouth a sweet kiss with its orange twist. That was clearly translated. Bière rousse cuivrée à lion douceur et rondeur. En bouche. Oh no, it's written terribly in French too. Okay, whatevs. Oh, this is a 7% though. So we're going to be careful. Oh yeah, it's got some octane. It's got some nice sweet notes and everything. I definitely get the honey and the spices, but I'm not great above like 6.5%. I feel that the alcohol punch sort of overpowers the taste. Yeah, it's okay. We'll deal with it. Where was I? Where was I? Okay, so Jerry had a good trip. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Al and I are feeling the same way about our buddy Russell. I'm worried about that guy these days. Ron, why is last week's romp not available? Oh, I totally forgot because I said something about halfway through that if anyone from... I said something halfway through that will get me in a lot of trouble if certain people see it. And I was going to just take it down, cut that out, and put it back up, and I forgot. I will make last week's romp available ASAP. Probably not tonight because by the time we're done here, I'm going to have to dive for the bed. But Ron, thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot. Sorry, guys. I've only gotten it twice, Cliff. And it was my wife's first time, so it just punched the ever-loving shift out of her. Poor woman. Marcus is doing well for a Tuesday. Week does feel like it's going by a little slow, though. Yeah, last week for me was a tire fire. Excuse me. And then because of the whole COVID-y thing, I had to bow out of my gigs on Friday and Saturday. The boys had to do them without me. So, and I couldn't like hit the woods and, go places. So I got no release at the weekend and cooped up family. So a lot of like bickering and stuff. And this week kind of doesn't look like it's starting off any better than last week. So the way I see it, if I can get through this week without saying anything that'll either get me fired or lose me a friend or family member, I'm going to call that a win. Eat more cheese. Dude, I eat so much. I'm Quebecois, okay? I'm French Canadian. We eat cheese like you would not believe. But that's probably why it hasn't really, kicked the crap out of me so bad. Alan Beerhoff, first time here. Just excuse me, just jumped over from Canoe Hound Adventures. Man, that was a good live stream tonight. I like that guy's work. I love watching his channel grow. I love watching his live streams get more and more sort of pro and more. He's a good guy and he deserves the success he's getting. Absolutely. Alan, if this is your first time here, this is one of my sort of more free form live streams. Sometimes I come in with an agenda that I want to talk about and some conversation happens, and I have a super irregular series of interviews and panel discussions that I like to host. One day they will probably become more regular, but I have 2 young kids, so now it's like maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. But so all that to say that what you see here tonight may not be indicative of what you'll see maybe next week or the week after. But I do hope you hang around, and I hope you start to chat with everyone in the side chat. Good bunch of people. Hey, Skip. How's it going? Has anyone seen Dave? we're missing a couple of people. It's probably my fault for almost not having it tonight. Um, so 23 people watching, 9 thumbs up. You know what? That's oh no, now we're up to 11, 12. Not bad. Do I have any thumbs down? No. That's not a challenge, by the way. You guys don't have to, downvote the video just because I didn't see any. Chug it. I'm not gonna chug it. It's a 7%. I don't want to get stupid. Um, at 21:16 p.m. But yeah, 7%. So I was thinking about something. I'm just gonna make sure I'm not missing anyone. Like a lot of people are sort of chatting to each other. That's good. Um, yeah, Ron, I'm really sorry about that. I'll get that fixed. Sorry about that. It's a little something I want to talk about. Won't take up the whole show. Oh, hey, there's Carol. Carol. Man, the way your name is spelled really, you know. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anyone here. Like Whiskey Harbor has just shown up. How's it going? And I was gonna mention thanks to everyone who said hi to Alan. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. We're all friends here. Hey, there's Tim. How's it going, Tim? I'm hoping you and Christy are doing well. Well, that's a stupid way to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so I bought a lottery ticket this week and I didn't win, but I wasn't expecting to. I bought it just to sort of give myself a couple of days of pure ass fantasy. And so I fantasize about. You guys have heard me talk about. Hey, 8 Acres is here. How's it going, Serge? Oh, and she's a blue as well. Nice. Welcome, welcome back. She's a blue. Has been very supportive. Like I'll see comments appear on videos that I did like months ago, and it's nice to see because it means that the stuff doesn't sort of disappear. That some of these videos are still alive. So I like seeing those comments pop up. Where was I? Country boy. Hi, by the way. Just noticed that Bettina's here already. Yeah. So I bought a lottery ticket, a Lotto Max, because why not dream big, right? Also because there's a strike going on at Lotto Quebec, so 649 is not available right now, which is good to give someone from another province a chance to win. So it was just a fun thing to sort of fantasize a bit. I was feeling down, so it's a fun way to pretend. And so I started thinking about, as you guys know, I would love to buy a little chunk of land and build a log cabin on it. And I was looking at this is partly informed by Clemence and I were watching My Self-Reliance's, I think his latest video where he was laying the floor in his new cabin. And as we watched, like I was doing dishes and Clemence was drawing the episode. So she drew a little floor and a little cabin and a little lake, a little pond. I mean, but of course she's 3, right? So I was like, oh, that's a floor. That's nice. But I was looking at his new cabin and I said in a comment under one of his videos once that I miss his old place, but what he's building now is way better. You know what I'm saying? Like there's familiarity with his old place that he had to sell and move away from. But let's face it, the cabin he's building now is so much sweeter. And all these thoughts were happening. Bought my lottery ticket, fantasized about buying a chunk of land, putting in a cabin. And there's a lot of stuff that I wonder if, like, I think positioning your cabin so that your bigger windows catch the prevailing wind is probably a good idea. Purely coming at this from a theoretical point of view, I think And like I sort of drew that sentence came out all kablooey. Sorry guys. Take two. 7%. Um I drew a little floor plan of what I would build. Very simple, front door, two windows. Then on the sides, like a big honker window here. On the back, a big honking window, and on the side, a window. But I wasn't sure how to position the two side windows for ideal to catch a breeze, right? I would build so that my big window in the back and to the front door would face into prevailing winds. I think purely going by theory that would make sense. But then would it be better to catch a breeze for the side windows to be like catty corner or right across from each other? And I'd have to position at least on one side the window is far enough away from the wood burning stove, right? Because you got to put sort of like your fire retardant background and stuff. So I like figuring that stuff out. I like the problem solving aspect on these simple little things. I guess I just like thinking about having myself a little cabin. And it's funny because Russell built himself a cabin. His is not log. His is board and batten. And he says he likes log cabins from the outside, but he finds them ugly from the inside. And I'm the opposite, man. No, I'm not the opposite. I agree with him partially. I also like the look of a log cabin from the outside, but I also really like it from the inside. There's like an old world. No, if I say old world, that'll make it sound like I'm talking about Europe. But there's like a frontier aspect to a log cabin that I really like. And I love having the freedom of just I'm gonna bung a nail in there to hang my hat on. Whereas you'll sort of feel when you got some nice pine boards for your walls or plaster or whatever, you're a little less willing to just sort of bung nails in so that you can hang your pots and pans and you're looking for, you know, stud finding. Beep. Okay, I'll put a hook there kind of thing. But with a log cabin, forget about it. Put your damn nail where you need it. Um, mm. Yeah, Linda says that maybe the missing didn't think. Where's my? Didn't think I was gonna be on. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Oh, look at that! Thanks, Destiny. Destiny has just become one of my personal heroes. Sharon says crosswinds across from each other. Or are we doing the bunkie and sometimes it works? Yeah, so like right across from each other, right? I would also like to have windows that are as big as possible without creating a weakness in the structure. I don't mean like a wall of glass. I just mean sizable windows, to get a lot of airflow in the summer, and to keep me from poisoning myself with the with the wood stove in the winter. My mouse has disappeared. Where are you, mouse? There you are. Sorry, guys. Um, or just build in a place that has so many trees. I don't need AC. That's not a bad idea either, actually. There's K Fox. Nice to see you. How are things over in Europe right now? Um, oh, you're already going, but yeah, I could absolutely see that. It's substantially late for K Fox out there in the Black Forest. Hi, Shawnee. What you got to say? I was able to take another trip last week into the forest. Nice. We treat all women, no staff, so you could cook and clean right by the lake. Stars are bright, saw many birds. Hell yeah. I love it. I would also prefer to go when there's no staff. I have no problem doing my own dishes. Yeah, Alan, I think that in a lot of cases that's key. I think you're absolutely not wrong there. I don't know where you live, and I'm wondering if geography plays into that or if I'm ignoring one aspect while thinking about the other. For me, in the summer around Montreal, it gets stinking hot and very, very sweaty. So any type of breeze in the summer is very, very important. And in the winter, I'll have the stove on. That exposure is important though, especially if I want to put like solar panels on the roof at some point, eh? So yeah. Mm. So you think plan for the southern exposure and then try to work the prevailing wind into that. It's probably not a bad idea, actually. I mean, I didn't win, so I'm not building a cabin this year, but yeah, I just like thinking about it. Uh, yeah, lipstick doesn't like log on the inside either. Excuse me. Uh, I'm just trying to catch up with everything here. Yeah, Sharon faced south because of solar panels as well. Yeah, yeah. Uh, hold on. I'm I'm lost. Sorry, guys. I'll just keep blah blah blahing. And that reminded me of this book that I have flipped through and read parts of. I think I've probably read the whole thing at this point, but like I didn't read it stem to stern. I just sort of flipped through, and whenever I find an interesting page, like reconditioning old log cabins. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I guess that's sort of renewing one that's falling into disrepair, fixtures and fire equipment. But I find like you know I whenever I feel like dreaming a little bit, I flip through this book, and I can see having gone through this book a lot. I can like here's an interesting thing: if you've got a fireplace, right, designing a fireplace so that you don't lose all your heat right up the chimney, and you don't smoke yourself out. A smoke shelf and a damper. I mean, I wouldn't put a fireplace in. I would put in a wood burning stove, but like I look while Sean James is building his cabins, and I see some of the theories, right? So like I'm not saying he read this book, but there's method. There's time honored method that is still being used in building log cabins. And I find it fascinating to watch any cabin come together because I want to do the same thing before I'm too old to lift the logs. And as I said, I'm 50 now, so I'm getting there. Serge says, I have so many plans for my house that I doubt I'd be able to realize them. Solar panels would be nice, though. Yeah. Oh, no, Sharon. Really? Still? I think we hit a record this week. 5 different contractors were to come in, 5 different excuses why they couldn't come in. What are the chances? It's absolutely brutal. Yeah. Yeah. Alan had a Franklin stove in the center of their main room. Yeah. Fireplaces will never you'll never be able to make a case that fireplaces are really efficient compared to like a stove or whatever. There's like a folksy old time joy to a fireplace that doesn't exist with a wooden stove with a wood stove. Um, but I think I don't want to dive that far into the engineering of it, right? Like I bring in a wood stove, I plonk it in, I plan which corner it's going to go in. I have like a lining around the hole that the pipe is going to go through. I have metal sheeting around it or stone or whatever, all that stuff. But I didn't have to ensure the design of the stove myself. Whereas, trying to work in a fire shelf and all that into a fireplace, if I duff up the job, I would have regrets forever. So it's just about not it's just about knowing where my abilities do not necessarily lie. Because yeah, there's magic to sitting by a fireplace, but yeah, it's not as efficient as a well designed wood stove. Absolutely. Country boy, yes, definitely DM me that picture. Where is my freaking mouse gone? There it is. Not my mouse, sorry, my cursor. The mouse is right here. Oh, you sent it via Facebook Messenger. Okay, Country boy, I'll take a look at it later tonight. Oh, Sharon, yeah, you're not even in yet. Oh man, that is frustrating, man. Tim would like to trade the fireplace in his house for a wood stove. There's an efficiency there that doesn't exist with the fireplace. But like, yeah, I wouldn't put in a fireplace. I don't have any faith that I would do it right, and I don't want to be filling my little cabin with smoke or having all the heat go. However, Cliff says we have a fireplace, works quite well in the winter, pretty much 360 heat radiation. Really? But they'd like to get an old potbelly. Yeah. Yeah, Tim, that's true. A fireplace in the house takes heat from other rooms. And I wonder if thought experiment, because I know nothing. House, okay? One fireplace on this end, one fireplace on this end, both burning. House designed with good airflow, okay? The rooms aren't all closed off. Maybe there's a hallway that goes from this room to this room. Would that mitigate that? Would that mitigate it? Or would it just suck all the heat out of the house? Like, what I'm wondering is, is there something to not having one focal point like that? Right? Because you're radiating heat from two sources. I don't know. I'm just Rob on the internet, by the way, agrees with Tim. I'd swap my fireplace for a wood stove so quick. Yeah, okay, Grace. I think our fireplace might do better than most because it's not on an exterior wall. Chimney's in the middle of the house, and when the bricks heat up, it radiates through the walls. Have any of you guys ever been excuse me, at the yacht club where I used to, before kids, crew on a sailboat? That's a pretty bougie thing to say. That's twice in the past month I've said something really, really bougie. But anyway, at the Royal St. Lawrence Yacht Club, there's a fireplace in the middle of the main room, freestanding. It's more like two-sided, right? It's one fireplace in sort of a rectangular thing that has like whatever. There's a fireplace in the middle of the room, chimney going up. That wouldn't mitigate the heat suckage, though, would it? Yeah, I don't know. Destiny says you can go pretty big with the cabin windows. Cecilia and Svalbard's windows are huge. Take a look when you have a chance. Link in the next comment. Okay, I will definitely take a look, especially because I'll watch almost anything about Svalbard or anything in that area of the world. You'll end up cooking yourself out of the house with having two fireplaces or wood stoves. So you think it'll get too hot then, Cliff? Sales says we have a fireplace in the kitchen, but we can't use it legally because the wood furnace is attached to the same chimney. That's. Yeah, Tim. I'm thinking like if you have a cabin that is essentially one big room, or like you got one big honking central room and maybe like a bedroom off or something. If the fireplace is right in the middle, because I'm just riffing off of what Grace said about exterior wall, interior wall. If it's not stuck to an exterior wall, then technically you're not worried about your heat radiating through the wall and out into the outside world. But again, I am purely going by theory here, not by not any kind of. Do I sound okay? I just realized my mic is pointed that way, and it's a directional mic. Is that better? Is that better? Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I hope you're having a good night. I don't know. Lipstick Lodge has a tiny house, so she can only put one kind of wood stove in, and you'd have to remove your Rondell Sanger prints to another wall. So move them, man. You can't beat a nice little wood stove. You can't beat it. Yeah, I'm thinking like, I guess I'm looking at more medieval dwelling kind of ideas. One chimney with 3 flues. 1 wood stove in the basement, 2 fireplace in the basement, and 3 fireplace in the living room just above the one in the basement. That is a nice collection of wood burning heat sources. Al, in about this long, I'm going to want to crack a whiskey. Are you and I going to each do a dram of the blue, or am I going to open something else? But I mean, that's what this mic is for, right? This is literally a radio mic. This is a very old design radio mic. It's a right. It's a Shure SM7B. I became aware of this mic in school in communications, but also I've been in a lot of radio studios. It's almost always this mic. North American radio studios are almost always this mic. The BBC uses a different mic that is something special, and that one dates to about the 40s as well. But the whole thing about this mic is that it's supposed to give you a warm radio voice. The downfall of this mic is that it is very low output. So you have to attach it to, like, this thing here. This is a third-party purchase. This is a load lifter, I guess. It takes the tiny signal coming out of this mic and pumps it up to go into my I have a sound interface box, which is then connected to my computer. It's not a simple way to put it together at all. And this mic costs a mint, but my wife makes more money than I do, and she surprised me for Christmas. But like the way you're supposed to use this mic is like this. You know, you talk much more quietly and more calmly directly into the mic, and it gives you the warmth that you require. Whereas I'm sort of sitting back here just because I'm moving and everything, right? One day when I set this area up more studio-like, I'm getting off track. One day I'm going to talk to you guys about how I want to set this place up, but not tonight. Even the Cub puts out a lot of heat for your place. Yeah. But man, guys, you guys have heard me say this before. And Tim, I like that. Seductive Bushcraft. If I ever start a podcast, maybe that's what I'll call it. I'll start every episode with, "Hey there, friendlies. How's up?" I love the heat that a wood that fire gives off. I was gonna say that a wood stove, but man, I love the heat if I'm sitting or lying next to a campfire. I adore the heat coming out of a fireplace. I love the heat coming out of a wood stove when you're crawled under the blankets and you're going to sleep, and you know that in about 4 hours you're going to wake up freezing and have to stoke that thing back together. But the magic of fire-based heat, the way it sort of moves and throbs and it flickers, the way electric heat or gas heat just doesn't, right? Like the heat coming off of the electrical thing behind me is it's just a static wall of heat, right? It just irradiates out like a like a steady glow. Whereas the heat you get from a fireplace, you can almost feel it moving as the flames sort of move around and burn up this piece of wood and it may be completely psychosomatic, but to me it feels the way fire looks, the flickering, the movement, you know? Just love it. I just love it. Shawnee, no, my trip is not canceled, not yet. Please don't um don't jinx me. I for years now, every time I'm supposed to take a trip, see another YouTuber, anything like that, something happens. So this one, like I've already bought the ticket and it's non-refundable. So it has to happen. Um yeah, I was supposed to do a 4-day canoe trip with Pine Martin last year or the year before. It fell through twice, you know. There was something else. It's like, and so when I plan something, I always expect it to not happen until I'm actually on my way. um, I don't think I need an omnidirectional mic. The nice thing about a unidirectional mic like this is when I changed mics, the other one's in a box here. When I changed mics from a more omnidirectional to this one, a lot of the environmental sound in this house fell way back. Um, and so, like, if I was sitting here playing music, yeah, something a little more omnidirectional. But for what I'm doing here, this mic is perfect. I still get the fizz looking at this mic. I can't believe I actually have this thing. I never thought I'd be able to. Well, I can't afford it. That's the thing. I could never afford this mic. Once you work in taxes and everything, it's like $600 in Canada. um, yeah, country boy. I don't know that you're wrong about that. I like stuff like that. I go into the woods, and it's become a cliche for me to say this, but I go into the woods for a few days, and I come out practically an animist. There's magic in the woods. There's magic in nature, and there's magic in fire. Um, but yeah, there really is magic in fire. I have on several occasions, s- glanced into a fire and glanced up, and an hour has gone by. I could just lose myself in it. Absolutely. Thank you, Shawnee. Hold on. As soon as I can find my cursor. Thank you for the offer to put good vibes into the universe for me. Nice. Um, Alan says the main room in our house was 60 by 60, and the roof had a 12 by 2 pitch. This was in central Vermont. We had lots of snowfall with extremely cold temperatures, and we heated it with one wood stove. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 60 by 60 is in feet, then, if it was in Vermont. I like Vermont, by the way. I've been there a few times. I played a wedding in Vermont about 3 or 4. Hold on, COVID time. So it's probably more like 5 years ago now. I've often said that Vermont should be part of Canada. I mean, we're in many ways the similarity is there, and I just don't want to have to cross an international border to go and hang in Vermont. Oh, Shawnee, man. But yeah, Alan, so you're saying that with one wood stove. Now, I know that not all wood stoves are created equal. Was this like a big honker, or was it something sort of small? Because that roof sounds pretty high. But yeah, I get what you're saying about the snowfall and temperatures, because I'm right north of there, right? I'm in Quebec. I'm in Montreal, so yeah, our winters are quite similar to yours. And are you not in that house anymore? But yes, I would love one of those big wood burning ranges with like two ovens, and I would love it. Love it. In fact, what I would like, if I ever do build my cabin, I would like to have what's called a summer kitchen. I don't know if you guys had these in the States, but in parts of Canada, they were very popular. Parts where it got really stinking hot in the summer. So, uh, parts of British Columbia and Vancouver Island, parts of Ontario, and well, pretty much most of southern Canada. And so you would have one of these big honking burning wood burning stoves outside, kind of in an area kind of like what Sean James built in his previous place. Like think of a big, huge covered porch without a house attached to it. And it's got a wall. The big wood burning stove is up against the wall. Like it's a food making stove though, not a heating stove. And you've got your pots and pans on it, and you've probably got some herbs hanging to dry, or some garlic hanging to dry, or whatever. Oh man, oh, I gotta win me that lottery ticket. The roof was extremely unique, overbuilt design. My father was an engineer and designed the house. Nice. So was this like the family home you grew up in then, Alan? So I actually replaced a couple of baseboards for infrared radiant heaters. It's not fire, but it's the next best thing. Yeah, fair enough. Man, if you ever come to Montreal, I've got all kinds of electrical for you to do. Destiny agrees with me. Vermont and Maine should be part of Canada. Gorgeous. It's funny. I just thought of something. Me saying that, or I guess you saying that, like, we mean this as a good thing, right? We mean this as in, you're our people, and the states are gorgeous, and we want that to be part of the family. But I'm pretty sure that, like, I just realized that I say that all the time. Vermont should be part of Canada, but to an American, that must sound so freaking imperialist. I just thought of that now. Yeah, Linda, I think that house is a little too small for those outdoor, like those wood burning fire furnaces. Whoa, cast iron front doors. Holy crap. I would love to see what that house looked like. Oh, you're not there anymore. That's too bad. It sucks. Tim says old houses like ours in Southern California have no insulation. I like our fireplace for those cold winter nights of 0 Celsius. Yeah. Even just going to see my dad, he lives in the southern Okanagan, right? Which is a pocket desert. And it's funny how, like here, if you build, you got to go 4 feet down below ground, because that's where your frost line is. So if you're putting up a fence, you got to put like 4 foot concrete piers into the ground first and put your fence on top of that. Anything, balcony, house, everything has to go 4 feet down. Well, no, it has to go more than 4 feet down. So, a lot of the time you're going like 5 feet down. Whereas where my dad lives, there's no frost line. They don't have to deal with that. They just build directly on the damn ground, you know? Which, by the way, is so much simpler than the way we have to do it here in Quebec. And Alan, where you are in Vermont, probably as well. But Tim, you probably have more of like a British Columbian approach to building houses. Not as much insulation. You don't have to dig down 4 feet. Yeah, Shawnee, I know that system as well. Absolutely. I don't know what the benefit of that system is over just throwing a wood stove into the house. But yeah. Oh, Alan says that summer kitchens are or were very common in the South as well. Okay, so maybe they were everywhere. Yeah, but isn't it a great idea? Like, could you imagine? I have these visions because I'm a guy who likes to cook. Baking, I am not great at. There are some things I can do, and I can do them well. But man, I just love the idea of stoking up the fire, cooking on that, hearing the birds and all that stuff. Oh man, that sounds good. Al never told me if we're pouring a dram of the blue tonight. Um, Destiny says, Pioneer Princess stove or the Blaze King stove are my dream purchases for our cabin. I think I've looked at the Pioneer Princess. I think. Oh, Sharon says, where's my mouse? Sharon says, hard to imagine a house without insulation. So needed here, but my God, I hated that job in the house. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody likes running insulation. Upstairs here we did the people we hired to redo the ground floor. They did the spray stuff. Which is what we do probably everywhere. Because many of you know, the OGs on this channel know that my first summer job, 5 summers in a row, was in carpentry. So I've done some insulating jobs with that fiberglass pink stuff. Ugh, hate it. Hate it. Hate the way it feels. Hate working with it. But I think that spray stuff would be a whole lot less trouble to deal with. Tim says, I have some good herbs hanging to dry. Oh, I know what kind of herbs you're talking about. We're going to move right along. Outdoor kitchen with roof, screen in porch. Could do all the canning and preserving out there in the summer so it doesn't have... Shawnee, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Come on. Doesn't that sound good? Man, if we lived in a different world, I would be a stay-at-home dad so I could do all that stuff, man. That's not a ding on my job. I have a good job and I work for a great company, but just the idea of being able to do that stuff during the day. Yeah. Well, I was just saying, Vermont is part of Canada. Man, I wish. It's so good down there. It's so cool. It's so... Yeah. Country Boy is asking if I can copy and share that pic of the Firewatch Tower. It's really cool. And has it? I don't know. Let me just see. You Facebooked it to me, right? Oh, I think I can probably... Hold on. Where's my browsers at? Now, do I have... Just let me see, because I don't know if on this PC I'm logged into Facebook. If I have to look up my password and all that stuff, I'm going to be irritated. But if it's easy to do... and you probably sent it to my Raindance account rather than my personal account. Am I right? Come on, fool. Sorry, guys. I will be with you in a second. Raindance, one notification. Yeah, but I want the chat. Oh, I see. Okay. Where'd you send it to? You said you sent it to me through Facebook. Taking a look. No. I thought I... What is going on? How come I'm not finding it? Hold on. Let me just go back to our chit chat. What? Oh, there's no stove? Come on, man. Get a stove. Throw like a ton of money at that out of nowhere. Oh, hell yeah, man. I'd bring my daughters. We'd do some wood chopping, some fires. Raindance account. Okay. I'm looking. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at you here in my side chat, but no, I'm not. I don't get it, man. Inbox. Yes. I'm being a drag on the live stream here. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can see it upon my... phone. I don't get it. It's not there. Send it again. Because yeah, I can totally share it. Like I can share the screen. Uh, Sharon says hiring out was 18 grand to do it. Our drywall asked us what we did because we insulated everything. Everything was pretty much soundproof. Soundproof is good too. Well, here's the thing. Do you really want to like you guys weren't aiming for soundproofing, but do you want to hear the sounds of the nature around you or not? Because there's a real magic to falling asleep in a place that's absolutely silent. But like I just keep thinking about when I used to go hunting and the sounds of the woods around us were soothing as well. Hold on a second. Ah, okay. Now, country boy, it's just but if I share that, it's gonna show your name. Unless I no, okay, I can do this. Open image in a new tab. We're getting this to work here, people. Oh, that's cool, man. Hold on. I'm gonna share this. Microsoft Edge tab. I think it's going to be that. It's a small picture, but what do you guys think? That's a fire tower, you said? Look at those windows. You must get a nice breeze in there if you crack them up. Well, do the windows all open? Oh, I love that. It ain't a log cabin, but it's pretty damn cool. Yeah, that's cool, country boy. Now, I'm trying to scroll back. Is this a place that you have access to now? Like, is this your country place? Because that's really cool. I love that. Hold on. I'm trying to. Is there another picture that I can share here? This is sort of that's a picture of the view, I guess. Hold on. Open image in new tab. I shall show the picture of the view. I wish these pictures were huge. You know what I'm saying? Great big pictures. Steal them from my my desktop. Look at that. Okay, it's a very small picture, but look at that view. I can see that's off the balcony probably, or that's just below the balcony. So nice. Ah, that's cool. Windows open, you can still hear the nature. We have a neighbor a bit away, but he has to run a generator. Okay, plus 2 large. Yeah, okay. So the soundproofing becomes uh valuable in that kind of cases. In that kind of case. Honeybee was driving home. Nice to see you back. We're just I guess I'm just dreaming here. I'm talking about like building a log cabin. And I'm waiting for Al to tell me. Maybe he's gone to sleep. I wasn't sure if I should pour a dram of this or something else tonight. Yeah, Serge says the sounds of nature are usually best when the windows are open. Absolutely. Oh, hey, there's Charles and Annie. Nice to see you. Been painting your fence. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And here's Rob saying soundproof is better because you can open the windows for nature sounds. After the chipmunks outside my house lately, nature sometimes needs to be shut out. Okay, fair enough. Tim says that before his wife got sick, they were looking at Vermont to move to. Then we saw all that snow in the winter and said, nah, you get used to this. Well, do you really get used to the snow? I got used to the snow. I didn't really like snow until I discovered snowshoes and had children. But now I'm good with it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my snap. um Honeybee, do you have a? Does your family have a cabin? Oh, I see. Rob on the internet says chipmunks are my squirrels. Chipmunks suck. I've never had a problem with the chipmunks, but I would love the squirrels to go the hell away. Anyways, I keep flipping through this book to dream a little bit, like I'm telling you guys. I just love that. Look at this door. I would build the Dutch door, right? With the you can open the top or the bottom. Probably best with some windows in it. Part of me wants to build one of those into my garage right now. I don't mean right now, like gonna drop you guys and run off and take up tools. I mean like the garage I have right now. I would love to put a door like that into. And in fact, I would like to replace it's got one of those big honking doors that rolls up. I'd like to replace that with two sort of accordion style doors, big wooden accordion style doors. But I don't know how to do it. Like, yeah, you can put a track of some sort across the top, but because I live in Montreal, you have to keep the snow from like you gotta stop the ingress of snow and melting snow and ice and stuff in the winter under the doors. So do you have to put a track on the bottom as well? Or can you just put like a big rubber strip on the bottom of your doors? I would love to do that though. Absolutely. Hold on a second. Everything just jumped. Shawnee looked at a cabin this weekend that was built of hay and some kind of mud or cement. Stunk inside, not good for allergies. Okay, good to know. Was it like a wattle and daub? When Tim was young, they had a cabin in North Wisconsin, heated with this huge electric heater. Wish we had a wood stove. I like the crackle and look of a warm fire to heat. Yes, sir. Me too. It's a fire watchtower that the 4x4 Association I belong to restored. We maintain it as a campsite along with a few other tires. It's hard to get to, but the views are totally worth it. Yeah, that view looks spectacular. Excuse me. It is 22:03. I gotta see a man about a hearse, guys. I'll be right back. Because I was just started doing the math. Can I make it all the way to 11? And no. So I'll be right back. I just remembered that I muted myself. Um, Sharon and Linda, they're building tiny houses. A couple of, um, there's a couple of you who are building cabins and stuff. Um, Charles and Annie, are you guys building what you've always dreamed of having? Or did you just decide, want a cabin? Let's look at some designs. Oh, this is cool. Let's do this. Because, like, excuse me, holy crap. Because I've got like all these dreams going on, but I don't know if many people spend all their time dreaming about a log cabin in the woods. If you know what I'm saying. Um, oh, Alan, have you explored the idea of a cordwood home? I've seen them before, and I think you're right. It would probably stay much warmer than a straight up log cabin. But the thing that attracts me to the log cabin is something more romanticized than, or romantic than necessarily logical. But yeah, cordwood homes are cool, um, especially because you can make them circular, right? Um, there's all kinds of things you can do with them, and they're very very cool. Yeah, or very very warm. But you know what I'm saying? They're very neat. Mm, I'm lost. Everything just jumped. Sorry, guys. I whatever. I'm just gonna pick up wherever I find something. Shawnee says, maybe when I have no kids, I could live in a cabin-sized home. Kids have so many things. Would want a second cabin on the property like a guest house. Fair enough. Okay, so this is more of a house. All right. You still want a cabin in the mountains. Yeah, you got mountains down there. Yeah. I also love the idea of living on a fire tower. I always thought that fire towers were taller than that, though, country boy. I mean, that's still pretty cool to me. But for some reason, I had this idea of fire towers as being like, I kind of think that the one that you showed is probably better for a guy who's as afraid of heights as I am. But hey, holy crap! Look who's here, man. I'm sorry to have left your. Well, I don't mean sorry to you. I mean, I didn't want to leave your live stream tonight because I was enjoying it so much. But I kind of had something to do. But yeah, that was a good one tonight. I liked it. Um, Dennis, what we're talking about is I was dreaming recently about buying a piece of land and building a log cabin, and so we've just been talking about things related to that. um, Country boy trapped in the city sent me a picture to share of a cool fire tower that I'm sorry, cool fire tower that a group he's involved with restored and uses like for camping and stuff, which is really man. Serge says, if I win the lottery, I'm buying the lot across the street and building a cabin there. Fair enough. Oh, I get it. Okay, so it doesn't have to be tall because of the elevation. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and you said it's hard to get to, eh? It's quite high. Like you said, it was 4,000 feet. Is that what you said? I'm scrolling back, but if you just answer, then that'll be good. So I guess Al went to sleep, eh? Because I'm not gonna. Hey, Ian the Weblord, when did you pop in? Did I miss saying hi to you? And by the way, to all those of you who are watching, please note that Ian the Weblord is a member of the channel. So he is, say it with me, a personal hero of mine. Alan says, many years ago, I remember Les Stroud did a video of an off-grid compound he built for his family. It got me hooked on the purpose-specific building compound concept. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for stuff like that. I think I'm no longer as young as I used to be, right? I'm 50 now. And so like when I think about building something in the woods, it can't be too big. the process can't be too involved. Um, even like a lot of what Sean James is building, like there's no way I would be able to build a separate bathhouse and all that stuff. Even then, excuse me, and even then, he was only putting that in because so that his wife would come and live at the cabin, right? But um, if I do ever have the chunk of land and a buttload of logs, I would build one very simple cabin with as many or as large the windows as I can get, and without weakening the structure, and then one outdoor kitchen and an outhouse, right? But like, I don't think I have the time left in my life. I don't have the time left where I have the strength required to build more than that. And maybe I'm even overestimating my abilities now. Even just with that. But yeah, um, Dennis Alan Bierhoff is popped over here from your live stream tonight. So thanks for thanks for playing a part in getting someone new to my channel. And he's saying a lot of interesting stuff. So I think Alan is bringing something to the table. So I'm really glad how that worked out tonight. Destiny, it might take me several incarnations, several lifetimes to build what he's building as well. I don't have the time. I have a very strenuous, high octane job that takes a lot of hours, and so does the wife. So I don't have the time to spend. Now, if I win the lottery, the unspoken part of that is maybe I would have more time, because who the heck, wouldn't? Yeah, that's true. Sean, Alaska does have a nice sized cabin. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I haven't seen his latest video, but I think, does he have all his walls up now? Now he's not building logs, right? So it's a lot easier. In some ways, it's much easier to build and much faster. In some ways, it's not. I have gotten to the end of the chat. I like it. I've caught up. And since Al's not here, maybe I will not pour a glass of this. What shall I pour? Do I feel like something peaty or something rye? Aside from this, everything I've got here is peaty or rye. Linda says, I would compromise and find a cabin that is built that you can adjust to fit more to your liking. Yeah, I do like the idea of starting from scratch and building something specific to me, but that may be the way to go anyway. Find something else. And okay, so all his walls are up. Oh, that's good. That's nice to see. I'll check that out a little later. Yeah, Dennis, it's funny when you held up this book that I have the same edition as you. It don't look like this no more, I don't think. It's funny. So it's just funny to see you hold that up. Excuse me. Man, I have to mute. There's another thing, like, if you build a log cabin or something like Russell's got or whatever, there's still real value. If you're not living on the Canadian Shield, there's real value to paying for a well and a septic system, you know? Like, I would love to have an off-grid cabin, set it up to use solar and wind, right? No phone lines, no like municipal water, but a well and a septic system kind of rock. They're expensive as hell to put in, but they kind of rock, Shawnee says it's whiskey time. I have a very good peated blend here by Compass Box. I have a nice Alberta rye here that you cannot buy here in Quebec. I have here a Scotch. This is a single barrel Scotch. I have a couple of blends. This is a Johnny Walker Blue Label, which Al gifted to me. And I have a Johnny Walker Green Label, which Al also gifted to me. I just don't know what I feel like. I just picked this up today. This is like the only Jack Daniels I will ever buy because I am not a Jack Daniels fan. But this single barrel is something else. Alan says you also have to consider that a project you are proposing would likely take two plus years to complete, depending on size. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, can you, Dennis? When I saw that in your hand, I figured you just had it for years. Rob says my wife won't even consider a cabin without septic or well. They're indeed very expensive. Yeah, I think. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I told you I have a chat dans gorge. If I want to build something, again, this is all theory, right now. But if I was to build something with my family in mind, I would have to throw the money into septic and a well. Absolutely. It would just be selfish to just expect them to follow me on my dreams of an off-grid cabin. Like I can probably get by with no lights and stuff, but I'm doing the peated. This is the Compass Box Peat Monster. It's a peated blend. Compass Box makes blends. Their whole thing is to turn blends into an art unto itself. So yeah, 46% alcohol by volume. No chill filtering. No caramel coloring. All right. Good night, Serge. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. So your well and septic was about 30 grand. Yeah, exactly. It's a big money. Shawnee says, so no composting toilet for you? No. And you're sort of pinging on some of the reasons right there. Composting toilet and a French drain for gray water. Some sort of gray water system would work well, I think. Yeah, Shawnee, I do love to dream about stuff. And like, what would I buy on the Quebec or the Ontario side of the line? Like, would the tax situation be better if I bought in Ontario? I don't know. I have no idea. Is it easier to find crown land in Ontario? Hell yeah. No, I don't know if it's easier to find. It seems like living in Montreal, it's almost impossible to get to crown land unless I drive like 5 hours away. Is it the same in Ontario? I don't know. No idea. Oh, so Lipstick Lodge, Linda does have a composting toilet. I would love to have a large wraparound veranda, covered porch, though. Like maybe screen it in so that the black flies don't get to me or the mosquitoes. Rob, yeah, Shawnee, this is all sort of stuff that even though I'm just dreaming about, I have to think about it so that if at some point I can afford to buy the chunk of land, like, do I want, like in Ontario, they call it, I think, an unorganized township. No idea what they would call that in Quebec, or even if they have such a thing here, you know. Rob says that taxes are the driving factor for finding the state we want right now. Yeah, that makes sense. If you're willing to like move to different states, then why not find a place that's affordable? For me, taxes are one of the considerations, but not the only one. Hey, look who's here. Kristen's here. And by the way, check out the logo next to Kristen's name. Channel member. So you know what that means. Personal hero. There's a lot of helloing going on. Ian says, Crownland, depends on where you are in Ontario. From London, it's a good 4 hours to get to Russell's area. Yeah. Look, I live in a city that's been here for 400 years. So that's 4 centuries of farms and a seigneurie and all that stuff just extending out. We're pretty far from any crown land access here. Yeah, but Shawnee, we only bought this place like 8 years ago. I came very late to home ownership. My wife is like 10 years younger than me, and we were not ready to buy when we bought this place, let me tell you. But I don't think I should have gone Peter tonight. And this is so good, but it's not what I was feeling. I kind of feel like I should have maybe had the blue label. Where's our Marcus? He was here. Maybe he skipped out. Maybe he went to bed. I mean, it is, I don't know where Marcus lives. Because I was going to say, it is past 10, but I don't know if it's past 10 where Marcus lives. I used to know where Marcus lives. Linda says, I only have electricity when the Jenny is on. The water heater pump works when the Jenny is on. Solar or Jenny runs the fridge. Okay. Kristen is asking what we're drinking there. I shall show it again because I think I showed this right before you came on. This is the Peat Monster by Compass Box. It's a Scotch. They're a blending house. They blend it's not a blend, it's a blended malt. So there's no grain whiskey in here. I don't know what they blended, but they specialize in making very sort of art house blends. So it's not like a bottle of what's it called? The one black and white, with the 2 Scotty dogs on it, or any of those old school blends. It's a very, very good, high quality, expensive bottle. No, I poured the dram. I'm gonna have the dram, and it's very good. It's just I think maybe I wanted something a little sweeter tonight. So like this rye wouldn't have hit. Well, there's a lot of sweetness to rye, but it's also very grassy and very green tasting, which I love. I like flavors. How many of you guys are like this? I like very grassy, very oaky, very wooden, herbal flavors, and I think it's because I like being in nature so much. Like maybe I'm making an association. How many of you guys might sort of have the same thing going on? Because some people, they don't like rye because it's too grassy or it's too piney or whatever. They like bourbon or Canadian whiskeys because they're sweet, they're caramelly and, sometimes a little spice, but not too much. Some people like a very spicy scotch with a lot of notes that are reminiscent of like cinnamon and stuff. I like all that stuff, but I do love stuff with a very green growing flavor to it, very woody, a lot of rosemary, herbaceous stuff like that. Absolutely. I'm just looking back because of course everything has jumped again. Oki always did it for you. Yeah, I love it. Shawnee says I like drinking the forest. I like that. That's hilarious. Hey, look who's here. How's it going, Jim? Just starting your ride home? You got a long ride and you do it late at night. Last night I fell asleep on the couch in the solarium. I was doing some laundry before going to bed because I'm trying to be. There's a lot of laundry, so I was like, I'm gonna fold whatever I can. And I sat down to wait for a load to dry. And then I woke up at 6:22 this morning. I don't love being awake after dark, and I don't like getting up before the sun comes up. And I like so whenever I see like SV driving home at this time of night, because I think you're in the same time zone as me too, right? Or are you like an hour behind me? But like I think about how dark it is, and think about how being in bed when it's dark out is one of my greatest joys. That makes my life sound so sad. I didn't mean greatest joys, but I like snuggling under the covers when it's dark out. I don't like being under the covers when it's light out at all. Like to me, getting up with the sun is ideal. And we're going into the half of the year where I will be getting up quite a bit before the sun. I do get up quite a bit before the sun, and I don't like it. When the sun is down, I like to be under the covers, preferably dreaming. I don't know why I'm on this. Oh yeah, it's because I'm thinking about Jim driving home at this hour of the night and thinking, man, the guy must just want to be in bed. Poor guy's just cruising for home. All right, see you later, Charles and Annie. I hope you're doing a good job on that fence. Alan says, many years ago, I traveled to Espanola, Ontario to go bear hunting. The remote cabins we stayed in were powered by propane. The stove, refrigerator, light. Yeah, we're all propane. That's not really rare, especially in cabins of a certain age. Destiny says, I thought Marcus was Swedish too. He always makes the lives when he shows. I don't think he is. Speaking of Swedish, I don't think Tenenbaum stayed with us. I think he might have clocked out early. Shawnee says, when we pick out soaps or essential oils, we always pick earthy forest ones. Pine tar. Yeah, me too. Hey, hi, Agnes. Making cookies, drinking champagne. It's my birthday. All right. Happy birthday. I love being tired and tucked in bed. Hell yeah. I love it. What kind of cookies are you making? I think that chocolate chip is the one true cookie. It's funny because chocolate chip are not really that old. I can't imagine a world before the chocolate chip cookie. It sounds like sad. Tim, I like winter sleep. Dark at bed, dark at morning. Yeah. Yeah, so we're in the same time zone, Jim. So yeah, I feel for you, man, driving at this time of night. Rob says, I fall into a bad habit of not sleeping till late. I enjoy the world after dark. It's so peaceful with everyone sleeping and not out and about. Yeah, me too. Um, I am a night owl who's trying desperately not to be. When I was young and I was in art school, I was at my best between like 2 and 4 in the morning. I'd be like painting and everything, but I do love the feeling of being in bed. We gotta change the subject because I'm getting the yawn on like you guys would not believe. It's only a 20 to 25-minute drive. Okay. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Agnes. Shawnee, yeah, you're probably right. Molasses cookie was probably before, maybe oatmeal. Man, can you imagine? Would you like a cookie and not having chocolate chip as one of the main options? Like, what would I dip in my tea without a chocolate chip cookie around? Oh, look at that. Oatmeal, raisin, and maybe some dark chocolate chips trying to be healthy. Uh-huh. Yep. As I've grown older, I have come to enjoy the oatmeal cookie a lot more than I used to. Yeah. Country boy's favorite is oatmeal raisin. That's all right. I do not love raisins at all, but I'm okay with them in an oatmeal cookie. Kristen says, And I'm going to call shenanigans on part of what you said there. I like sleeping when it's dark and cold. It's only 7:30 here and definitely not cold, but it is dark. Does it ever get cold? You live on the surface of the sun. Are you Nevada? No, you're in Arizona, right? I've been there. I've been in both those states in November and thought, hey, wow, this is too hot. So don't tell me dark and cold. Dark, okay, but come on, dark and less hot is all I'm going to take from you right now, okay? All right, okay. Hike with Mike sleeps best when he's out in the woods. Best sleep ever. I agree completely. Absolutely. Rob on the internet is throwing his hat in for the molasses and oatmeal cookies. Destiny agrees with Hike with Mike, as do I. And then Rob now wants cookies, as do I. Grace Martin also loves homemade molasses cookies. And Destiny says, the air in the woods is so fresh. Wait, I can do math for a change? I wish I'd read the whole thing before putting that up there. The air in the woods is so fresh, I can do math for a change. Does that mean when I'm in the woods, I can finally do math? Have I ever had a hermit cookie? No, I don't think I even know what that is. Destiny can remember her past lives in the fresh mountain air. Well, okay, that's cool. I don't think I have ever remembered a past life. Agnes's blackstrap molasses. I think that's a molasses cookie waiting to be made. Arizona, yeah. All winter I leave my bedroom windows open. Just keep the door closed. Yeah, Tim, I know that in the nights it can get really cold in the desert. I definitely remember that. Even in like the deserts in Alberta and BC. But yeah, no, Ian the Warbler. It's not. Ian the Weblor is like crap. Now I'm hungry for cookies. I think everyone's getting hungry for cookies. Oh, but Rob knows what hermit cookies are. I don't. Okay, so Destiny was talking about math. Can't do it in the city. Polluted air. I never even thought of that. Rob's going to get cookies. Kelly pops in. How's it going, Kelly Simmons? How's by you on this night of nights? Nice to see you. Especially because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do tonight. I'm glad I did. I'm glad the opportunity presented itself. I really want cookies now too, guys. Not going to do it though. Oh, stop yawning. I brought a knife because I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to open this, but I didn't. I poured something else instead. On my non-main channel, my other channel, somebody sent me a sampler of this, so I did a quick, not a review, but a sample video. And look, I'll be straight with you guys. I do not buy Jack Daniels, but I will buy this Jack Daniels till the cows come home. This is their single barrel select. Jack Daniels is to American whiskey what Crown Royal is to Canadian whiskey, just without the fancy little bag. It's plonk is made for mixing. It's middle of the road direct. It's not a high standard whiskey at all. This is if Jack Daniels was like, you know what, we should make something for the whiskey geek. That's what this is. It's way, way better than your straight up Jack Daniels Tennessee. What is it? Tennessee whiskey. I don't think that the Lincoln County process brings anything good to whiskey at all. Crumbs. Everyone's run out to get cookies now. Jim says gooey chocolate chip is best. Yes, but I can't have any cookie that's got sugar right now. Oh, I will not ask why in such a public domain, but I feel for you. I also should not eat cookies or chips or anything right now. Yeah, Lipstick Lodge is run off to your cookies. Tim's doing the Oreo thing. I cannot stand Oreos, but I do love the Fudgio. Fudgios are not. That's not like a Canadian thing, right? You get those in the States as well. I do like the Fudgio. I haven't had one in years though. Man, country boy, everyone's going for the cookies. Linda's got peanut butter cookies. Legit. Tim says Jack Daniels is best when you drink from the bottle. I find that bourbon guys do that way more than Scotch guys do. Like, this glass is designed specifically so that when you tip it towards yourself, all the aromas are concentrated right here, right? So that you get the nose before you get to the palate. Because tasting something is a full sensory. That's BS. It's a smell and taste sensation, because all taste kind of is, right? So spice, peat, a little bit of a medicinal note, brine. So this is a campfire, a peat fire next to the ocean. There's a little Band-Aid note. I said there's a medicinal note, so there's that. Maybe some salmon cooking over that fire kind of thing. If I just did this, right? And whoop, nothing happens up here. So I never bottle pull, but the only thing I get is like ethanol and peat, right? So but I find that I spend some time, but as little as possible, on TikTok and Bourbon Talk. These guys are always bottle pulling. It's like somebody makes some kind of big statement, whoop, cheers to the camera, and then bottle pulls. And then all these guys stitch that doing their own bottle pulls. So I'm like, you guys spent $100 each on those bottles. Don't bottle pull it. Get something like this so you can enjoy the whole sensation. Or don't buy the expensive stuff, Where was I? Why am I talking about that? That's what? Why am I even talking about this? Oh, because Tim is saying Jack Daniels is best when you drink from the bottle. Okay, so I got lost. What I was trying to come around to is, yes, you're right. Normal Jack Daniels, if you pull straight from the bottle or you throw some Coke in it, you're okay. But this one, this is good enough that this goes into one of these. No ice, no water. I will open it at some point. Chris is going to go and get a Chip Ahoy cookie that will pair with your scotch. I would like to do an episode on my other channel about what whiskeys pair well with hot sauce. And I think that it's not going to be a lot of peated stuff. But I don't know. Dennis, man, I would love to pour you a drink. I am so dying to sit in the same room with you at some point and either put a camera right there or not. But I think we need to sit down and have a whiskey or a beer or a coffee together. Pine Martin too. I'd love to sit down with that guy. Man, Nate, I want to see Nate in person. I bought a life jacket off of Nate. Shawnee, too bad I can't get my hands on a 14th century cookbook. No, that would be hard. But if you go to Townsend's, I don't know if you know the Townsend's YouTube channel, but it's kind of a way to move business to their store. But they have a very specific. Their store is all about 18th century cooking. Well, no, it's all about 18th century life in America. So they sell to a lot of reenactors and stuff, and they have a lot of very authentically made stuff. And they, on their YouTube channel, they have a lot of 18th century cooking using the stuff from their store, right? Because everything you see on screen you can buy. Which I live in Canada, so the affordability is not there. I have almost bought stuff from them many a time, and the shipping, especially right now, we're not at a 78 cent dollar right now. We're at a 75-cent dollar. So anything I buy from the States is expensive. And so just the whole shipping and everything has stopped me from buying from them on several occasions. But they do, they have reprints of a lot of 17th, 16th sort of, but mostly 17th, and a couple of, let me shift my centuries. Mostly 18th century cookbooks, some 17th as well. What's cool about the channel is that they take the recipes and then sort of, you know, if it asks for a groat of la la la, that in modern measurements is about quarter cup, something like that. So, you sort of get a sense of what the measurements really are, whereas in the reprints of the books, they don't necessarily do that. So it's not the same as 14th century, but I would also like a 14th century cookbook. I made a medieval chicken recipe once. It was chickens with almond gravy. And it could have used some spice. It took forever because as part of the recipe, you had to create your almond milk from almonds. Yeah. But yeah, I would love to. If I had time for a third channel, I would do a channel on medieval cooking. I would do kind of what Townsend's does, right? I would create a set with like a period kitchen setup in it. I like stuff like that. I watch Townsend's all the time. I watch Tasting History all the time. I just love those like historical recipes. As soon as I can find my mouse. Linda says she's 24 kilometers away from cookies. That's a lot of gas you'd be spending for a thing of cookies. Fudge is your weakness. I could handle a little bit of fudge here and there. Kristen says, "Oh, hi Dennis. Sorry, looking forward to watching your interview with Kevin. Yeah, you got to watch it. Absolutely. Oh, you want peanut butter cookies? I could handle that." I agree with you, Dennis. I think that Kevin is awesome. I think that Kevin is awesome on maybe 3 levels. One, he's someone who is very well known. I don't want to say famous because I can already feel him titching at me, but he's someone who has a certain amount of fame and is still very down to earth and very personable and doesn't show the brain damage that fame can bring in terms of like the concept of self as being larger than life. Look, I've been around, I used to work in a fashion magazine, okay? So I play music festivals with some much, much bigger bands and stuff. And I know that fame can addle one's mind, even small amounts of fame. And so whenever I meet someone for whom that hasn't happened, I treasure that person. I think the world needs that person. And I think the world needs Kevin because of that. I think another level on which he's so cool is that if you look at if you were to buy the memoir that he and I talked about a few weeks ago, and he talked about with Dennis tonight, you'd see that this is a guy who kind of knew where he wanted to go pretty early, and he just went for it. And he overcame a lot of really big things in terms of anxiety and in terms of some of the stories of his professional development are kind of funny in that there's massive failure there, and he just picked himself up, dusted himself off, and kept on going. Found a new way around the whatever got thrown in his road. And I think the world needs more guys like that telling their stories. And on another level, the information he disseminates on his YouTube channel is so approachable. He's got a skill, and he doesn't talk about this ever, but he's got a skill to make learning happen in a non-threatening way that some teachers don't ever get. And so he does this course every year where he takes at-risk youth out into the woods. It's a credit course. I think it's a university credit course for high school students. It's one of those sort of things. And I would love to have taken that course, or I would love to be able to send my daughter on that course. I can't. We don't live in the same province, and my daughter's not yet an at-risk youth. But just, So I agree with you, Dennis. I think Kevin is awesome. And I think he's awesome not just because he's goofy and kooky. I do believe that under the goofy and kooky is a guy who, if I knew on a personal level, I would absolutely treasure. Chips Ahoy goes best with scotch. That's good to know. I'm guessing that's not a peated scotch, though. Destiny says, cookies in bed with a roaring fire in my cabin in the fire tower. Breeze from the open windows. Yep. That sounds pretty damn good to me, Destiny. Oh, Ian crossed the border into Illinois last week. Finally tried Woodinville bourbon whiskey. Well worth a try. Too bad I can't find it in Canada. Woodinville. All right. I will, if I'm across the border anytime soon. I have many, many in-laws across the border. As I've often said, the beauty of living with a woman of Haitian extraction is a vast number of in-laws in Haiti, of obviously Miami and New York. Rob says, don't bottle pull, get Bullwinkle glass. That's really meta because now you're referencing Russell's live stream on my live stream. Chris says, yum, and it doubles as a fire starter. I love it. No raisins in yours. Okay. All right, Alan, that makes sense. What time are we at? Okay. Kristen sitting inside in the air condition because it is still so that's 86 in degrees freedom. So what would that be in degrees Canadian? Destiny gets it because she says that's hot for almost 8 p.m., but I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, man. Hot sauce. Well, I'm not a big fan of chicken wings, but they are an excellent hot sauce vehicle. Absolutely. Do you ever watch Hot Ones? That's where Sean Evans interviews people, and they've each got I think it's 10 wings in front of them. Sometimes vegan wings if the person they've got coming on is a vegetarian or whatever. And with progressively hotter sauces. I love that stuff. I love hot sauce. I've made hot sauce before. Russell's wife, City Girl, she does a fermented hot sauce. I would like to try that recipe, but she never sent it to me. Everybody gonna have cookie crumbs in bed tomorrow. The cookies that I have upstairs are maple leaf cookies. How many of you know about? Well, the Canadians probably do. Maybe the Americans do too. I'm never sure if stuff like that is a cross-border phenomenon or if it's a Canadian-only thing, like all-dressed chips or ketchup chips. Tim says, Jack Daniels and Coke, yuck. Open the cap and down it goes with a chocolate chip cookie. Ah, Jim. I'd love to try to bake some cookies on a reflector oven while sipping some whiskey. You know what you just reminded me of, even though it's not really. Do you ever watch? Have any of you ever watched Kenneth Graham on the Tube of Views? He is from Texas. He does a lot of hiking, a lot of rough camping. Uh, he he did a series on camping with just like what was it called? I don't know if it's like a cowboy or Civil War camping setup, or if it was a hobo setup, where you have very few things, and it's only what you can roll into a wool blanket and then wear as a sling. I want one more dram, but I don't know if I want the peated, but I don't have any paper towels to wipe out the glass. But he made carrot cake in a reflector oven, like a homemade reflector oven. He was always doing stuff like that. I think part of his channel, the sort of an unspoken part of his channel, is that being in the woods doesn't mean giving up on some of the finer things in life. But yeah, Jim, that sounds really cool. Chris makes stuff. Jack and Ginger for me. By the way, hi, Chris. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but if I haven't, then welcome to the live stream. If I have and I've forgotten because I've had a couple of drams, then welcome back. Jack and Ginger. Okay, that's good to know. Maybe I'll try that one day. Just not with this Jack. Not with this one. This is not a mixer. You know what? I could probably mix it. I mean, the thing is, it's not a very expensive. It's more expensive than your straight up Jack Daniels. What is it, number 7 or whatever? Hugely, but it's not like this was $212. Yeah, $212, right? This is nowhere near that. This I think is a $60 bottle in Quebec. So I don't have to really worry about mixing it. A lot of nice nuance in this bottle, though. But yeah, Jack and Ginger, I'll try that. No fear when it comes to experimenting. Shoni says, thanks for mentioning Townsend's. I'm checking them out for sure. Such a good channel. Such a good energy around that guy, too. Just Alan says, back in my college days, we drink Passport Scotch blend. It wasn't bad and it was affordable. I tried it recently and it just wasn't the same. A lot of whiskeys are not what they used to be. It's maybe you're not remembering the way it really was. Absolutely, I've had that with certain bottles too, but also, I'm looking for something. I don't have anything really historical here, but they're not. Very many whiskeys are not what they used to be. So yeah. Can you dunk cookies in Jack? Cookies are for dunking in tea. Only tea. Gotta be something on Google or even YouTube. Agnes is growing ginger. That's cool. I like it. Country boy says hot sauce doesn't go good with any hard liquor. Alcohol intensifies the capsaicin. Gets ugly fast. We grow all sorts of hot peppers, and I've done it. I grew some jalapenos, and I tried to grow some Scotch bonnets. I got 3 jalapenos, and the Scotch bonnets did not make it, which is too bad. Alan says to Lipstick Lodge, there's huge difference between can you and should you. Referring to can you drink cookies and scotch. I love it. You should do a pairing with meats and cheeses. I really do not have a sweet tooth, but I love good appetizers. Yeah, right before the plague hit, I had this idea of doing a whiskey tasting, 7 scotches, the different regions and stuff, and having like a meat and cheese board sort of as a palate cleanser. There are certain palate cleansers that work very well for whiskey. Cheese is good. Tea, just a plain tea is good. Um, water is okay, but it's not as good as certain things. But like have a little cheese, maybe a little salami or something, but mostly like cheese and tea can really sort of cleanse the palate a bit so that you're tasting the next whiskey unflavored by the previous whiskey. Chris says, all you nerdy peeps like me, Dungeons and Dragons has a cookbook model after some old school recipes. There's also a cookbook of Harry Potter recipes, and there's one for Fallout recipes. And there's something else. What's the other one? So another game that has like a lot of food stuffs in it. I don't remember. But yeah. I keep wanting to buy the Harry Potter one for my wife. Here's what I want for supper tonight. Agnes loves fudge. I also love fudge. Oh yeah, tasting history. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, man, Shawnee, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love. If you like watching anything cooking related, you're going to love it. And he doesn't stick only with 18th century. He tries all kinds of really historical stuff, like ancient Roman bread and ancient Chinese imperial blah blah blah. Very good channel. Look, the previous dram was peated. I don't have any water or anything to rinse out the glass, so yes, I do. Excuse me. I forgot that I brought water down here to rinse out as a glass. Well, actually to drink, but all right. Okay. Ian the Weblord says to Lipstick Lodge, please plan ahead on your cookie prep for next week. We should all bring cookies for my next live stream. Yeah, Agnes opened the blackstrap molasses. I think that's going to make a great cookie. Shawnee needs to buy molasses by the gallon. I don't remember last time I used molasses. I used there's what the hell is pomegranate. I was making grenadine, and it calls for like a pomegranate molasses. It's not the same. Okay, so that 86 or whatever is 30 degrees Celsius. Blech. All right. Good night, Dennis. Speak to you later. Have a good sleep. Oh yeah, we're almost at 11. Agnes, that is old school. A teaspoon of molasses in the morning for nourishment. That is some old school stuff. Yeah, friends from Canada who bring maple leaf cookies when they visit. Yeah, I try not to eat them too. I try not to eat too many of them because but so good. Vermonters, aka Southern Canadians, know what maple leaf cookies are. I'm never sure about stuff like that. Like because there are so many snacks that I just think are available everywhere, and then my American in-laws are ever like, no, we don't got that here. Showing it's how I make my brown sugar. Yeah, because brown sugar is granulated sugar with molasses. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm addicted to Earl Grey tea and cookies of late. I've been drinking less beer and more teas of late. I think you're rubbing off on me, Jess. Yeah, man, tea is ideal for cookie dunking. It's not like the flavor doesn't overpower the way it can with like a coffee or a chocolate milk or hot chocolate or whatever else you might dunk. Is that even making sense? But like it doesn't overpower the cookie the way a coffee can. Yeah, but I was sort of limited in what I could buy at the time. Um, like I often use habaneros for a hot sauce, but I like to add in some um, we would call them bird peppers in French. I have no idea what they are in English. But yeah, I like a good hot sauce. Brie and baguette. Man, Agnes, you're having a good birthday. Ghost peppers do hurt indeed. Yep. All right. Agnes made the cookies. Nice. I know, Chris. I should do the one chip challenge. I getting it across the border seems to be complicated. Um, Jim likes a hot pepper, but likes to stay at habanero Scoville units or less. Yeah, fair enough. Been watching a young couple on YouTube, mostly wife doing cooking called Early American. A lot of, I would check that out. Okay. I do say to all 26 of you that I just noticed the time. It is after 11 and I do have to be at work, and that 7% beer and then the single dram of scotch is sort of knocking me out. So I'm going to hit the hay. I'm going to see all of you next week. I hope all of you. Alan, I hope you enjoyed tonight enough to come back next week after Dennis's live stream. To the rest of you, Agnes, happy birthday again. I'm glad you made the cookies. I think I'm going to need a cookie right now. But yeah, so everyone between now and next week, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and be kind to one another. Good night, all.